A 16-year-old youth has been found guilty today of murdering Joshua Hall by stabbing him when they met up to sort out their differences. The boy, who was 15 at the time, killed Joshua, and he burst into tears as the jury of 8 men and 3 women delivered the guilty verdict shortly after 1:30 today. During the 2.5-week trial at Gloucester Crown Court, the jury was told by the prosecutor, James Dawes QC, that there had been some hostility between the 2 youths and that they had arranged to meet up at a sports ground in Cam on April the 16th. However, the defendant took a knife with him to this rendezvous and concealed it in his waistband. He used it to stab Joshua 6 times, almost severing his thumb from his hand and penetrating his abdomen and the top of his arm. Despite quick medical intervention from paramedics called to the scene, Joshua died from his injuries at Southmead Hospital in Bristol the following day. In his summing up at the end of the trial, the judge, Mr. Justice Chamberlain, pointed out to the jury that the whole incident lasted less than 2 minutes, which included walking to and from the confrontation exchange. He added in just 1 minute the defendant and Joshua exchanged words, got involved in pushing and shoving each other, followed by the youth withdrawing his knife and stabbing his victim at least 6 times. This was followed by another exchange of words, after which the youth fled from the scene. The defence, Edward Brown QC, had asked the defendant, when he was in the witness box last week, did you ultimately hold the knife that caused Joshua's death? To which the boy replied, yes. He said in his closing speech to the jurors that they should put all emotions aside as they examined the evidence, and he added, you have to decide if the defendant intended to kill Joshua or cause him serious injury. After giving evidence in his own defence at the court, the 16-year-old youth apologised to the victim's parents and added that if he could turn back the time, he would. The jury heard during the trial, which sat according to the timings of a school day because of the number of young witnesses, that when the defendant dialed the police, he told the call handler that he didn't mean to do it and stated to the arresting police officer, it was me. I did it, okay? I did it. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to, honestly. Why did I do it? After receiving the guilty verdict on the murder charge, the judge said that the defendant could not be sentenced today, and he provisionally has set the date of December the 17th for this to be done after pre-sentence reports have been obtained. The boy was remanded in custody pending sentence. After today's hearing, Joshua's family issued a statement saying, whilst no verdict can possibly undo the terrible acts of violence against Josh, we have felt and deeply appreciate the continued hard work done by everyone involved in prosecuting this case. As Josh's parents and parents to Josh's brother, we feel all parents need to learn an urgent and desperate lesson to take closer notice and involvement in the lives of their young people, in particular on social media. Similarly, far too many lives have been destroyed by knives, with social media an aggravating factor. On to say the circumstances of Josh's stabbing are so deeply shocking. A sunny mid-afternoon in April, a young man carrying a butcher's knife for months beforehand. Parents and communities cannot rely on the authorities to provide a moral education to their children. Joshua was and always will be the source of light and beauty of our family. We will continue to share our pride that Josh spread love and helped people greatly despite his youth. We will continue to tell our youngest how amazing a person and brother Josh was. Just want to say rest in peace, Josh, and my condolences go out to your family. The family went on to say, we would like to thank the major crime team at Gloucestershire Constabulary as well as the CPS. We will be eternally grateful for all they have done and the passion and commitment shown in getting justice for Josh. Detective Chief Inspector John Turner, the senior investigating officer, said, for Josh's young life to be cut so cruelly short in such tragic and unnecessary circumstances is beyond comprehension. There are no words or verdicts which will ever bring back this young man, but I hope today's outcome will bring a small sense of peace to Josh's family, who have shown immense strength and courage throughout. He also went on to say the young boy told the court when given evidence that he carried a knife for his own protection. He made the decision that day to turn up to what should have been an argument at most, armed with a dangerous weapon which he intended to use. This is alarming and even more heartbreaking when it's children who are involved. So real sad news that once again I just want to say rest in peace, Josh. As parents, you think you know your kids, majority of the time you don't. And the reason is because we don't spend enough time with them to get to know who they are. They want that love and attention from family, and when they can't get that, they're out and about on the streets and making their own relationships out there. And it only takes that one instance of misguidance which can cause incidents like this. Keep your family safe. It's your boy GC. Keep it locked, keep it real.